Hi guys, it's Sam. Welcome back to the UK Mortgage Centre channel, or if you're new here, it's nice to meet you. Now, I'm assuming you're looking at getting your first mortgage. Well, you've come to the right place. In this video, I'm going to discuss how to get yourself on the property ladder and how to apply for your first mortgage, from your agreement in principle through to that final mortgage offer. Oh, and now that I've got your attention, why don't you hit that subscribe button? It's free, and that way you won't miss an upload. With that shameless promo out the way, let's get to the video. So how do you buy a house? Well, first of all, you're going to need to find a broker. Now, this isn't a requirement, but if you want to make sure that your life is a lot easier, then it's really important. Unlike a bank or a building society, a broker can search the whole of the mortgage market, meaning that they can find the best deal that's available to your circumstances. And once you've found a broker, they'll ask you for a series of documents. Now, your mortgage advisor will need to know as much information as possible to ensure that you're going to get that best deal available to your circumstances and to make sure the application process is as stress-free as possible. Now, we do have a document checklist which is free, and you can download it by clicking the link in the description box. But to give you an idea on the type of initial documents you need based on the fact that you're employed, you're going to look at things like proof of identity. Identity. First things first, proof of identity. Now, this is the easiest if you can provide either a driver's license or a passport. Very rarely do we ask to see a shotgun license these days. Second is proof of residency. Most commonly, this is a bank statement or utility bill just to verify that address. Third, national insurance number, dead easy. It's on your wage slip, or you can access this from your government gateway account. The fourth is proof of income. Usually at least the latest 3 months wage slips that are required, along with any proof of additional income, so benefits, gifts, overtime, bonuses. Number 5, if you're self-employed, we'd say the latest 2 years HMRC tax calculations and overviews, and the latest set of your finalised accounts, but your accountant should be on hand to help you get those together. Number 6 is proof of deposit and where it's come from and whether it was savings, sale of property or a gift. Number 7, all current debts. You should be keeping a list anyway, little rascals. Number 8, any government income award notices such as child benefit or universal credit. A lender might assess them towards affordability. 9 is bank statements. Now, usually we'd say 3 months that correspond to your pay slips, so the latest 3. Although it seems like a lot, it's important that you prepare and send over the correct documents to your mortgage advisor, as lenders will want to verify that data that your advisor inputs about you on your application is correctamundo. Now, once you have these together, you can send them on to the advisor, and from there, they can start to calculate how much you can borrow, or you might hear it as working out your borrowing ceiling. Now, this is where your advisor will secure that all-important agreement in principle, or AIP, MIP, there's loads of different acronyms for it. And this is the document that you're going to need to present to the estate agent when making a formal offer on a property. At this stage, go crazy. Get onto Rightmove, Zoopla, all those property portals, and book viewings to find your first home. And once you've found your property and you had the offer accepted, you'll need to inform your broker so they can get to work on finalising that mortgage offer for you. As part of this process, you'll need to choose your mortgage term. And that's the length of time you want to repay the loan to your lender. Will it be a shorter mortgage term, or is it going to be a longer mortgage term? Now remember, the shorter the mortgage term, the higher the monthly payments will be, but the less interest you're going to pay overall. Now, the longer the mortgage term, the cheaper that monthly repayment might be, but it means the overall amount that you're going to pay back to the lender may be much higher. Now, you need to make sure that the monthly repayments and the mortgage term are in the budget of what you can afford, and your advisor is there to guide you through and help you plan all of that accordingly. Now, your broker will also recommend a suitable mortgage product too. Now, what I mean by this is, do you want a fixed interest rate, an interest-only product, a tracker, a discount, an offset, all those sorts of things? Now, in most common first-time buyer applications that we see, everybody opts for a fixed rate mortgage because that means your monthly repayments will be the same each month as the rate you pay back for a fixed set amount of time. I found that most people like to know what the monthly outgoing is going to be each month, and the payment is what is agreed from day one. Now, I'll leave linked in the description box a guide explaining the different types of mortgages, repayment types, so you can take a look and see which one you're going to opt for in the future. And at this stage, you'll probably need to appoint a solicitor to start all of the conveyancing and the legal side of selling the property. Now, I've done a video going into this in a bit more detail, so again, I'll link that down below so you can check it out. But they'll handle the searches, any queries for the property, look after the exchange of the process, which we'll get into shortly. And once your advisor has all that information, they can submit that application to the chosen lender and start that underwriting process. Now, the term underwriting is the process of evaluating risk so that banks and building societies can reduce risk when making financial decisions in various situations. So a mortgage lender carries out this process to ensure that you and the property are safe as houses. See what I did there? Now, the application process can take a little bit of time, but it's all dependent on the lender, current market conditions, how long it takes to book a survey, but your advisor should be here to keep you up to date throughout. Now, the final step in the process are exchange and completion. Now, the exchange of the property is the stage where you officially become legal owners of that property you want to buy. And completion is the most important day, when we get those keys and we can start to move in. Now, it's not uncommon for both of those things to happen on the same day, so don't panic if that happens and that is actually the case. Now, before I wrap up this video, my top tip throughout the process is to try and stay one step ahead and have all your personal documents ready, like we mentioned earlier in the video. If you like this video, then give it a thumbs up. And if you have any questions on anything I mentioned in today's video, then please drop me a comment below or give our team a quick call. It's 01925 573 328. I'll see you next time.